Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock.
Go Big Red indeed. No block, no rock. Episode 262 coming at you from the Sinovation studio in Omaha, Nebraska. Fellas, let's talk about our relatively new sponsor, Heavy Brewing out of Gretna. I have what's called the Little Fruitcakes. Thank you, Connor, for bringing me the Little Fruitcakes.
Oh, don't thank me. Thank Heavy Brewing.
Well,
I drove it here, but I didn't do any of this.
Hey, I know that's a lot of work right there. So it's the IPA. And, you know, as you can see, I did have it full about, 10 minutes ago. And now this is where it's at. So what does that tell you?
Seems like it must be good.
It must be pretty good.
Yeah,
it is pretty good. Kyle, you know what you got in your glass?
Yeah. Okay. So Connor, you said this is the peach.
That is the peach sour.
The peach sour. Okay. Now I've had sours in the past, and I'm generally like, it's a little too sour. Sometimes it's like too much, you know. But this isn't too bad. You said it kind of tastes like the peach rings.
Yeah, like the candy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of what it tastes like.
Dude, it nails it.
Yeah. So yeah, real good.
Right on.
I am drinking. So this is new for our heavy segment. We typically, when Mike is still in Mexico, rich boy, we split two of these beers. But today, I was really excited. I got to talk with those guys about what beers we were getting this week, and I was really excited to talk about this one. Is their Fest beer. We are in November, and some people might tell you that Fest beer season is over because technically it's around like September, early October. They're wrong.
Wrong.
The Fest beer at Heavy is phenomenal. They do a great job, and honestly, I get to try some of the stuff they've got coming through the works, which we will get here in the coming weeks. But dude, their selection is phenomenal. They've got so many good things coming through. They're just so good.
Yeah. They're a great sponsor to have.
Yeah. And
So-
we'll be there soon.
We will for the watch party versus Penn State.
Yes, the graphic for that is done. We'll start posting that all over the place so everybody has the details. Obviously, the time is TBD
Yeah.
because we still don't know time to kickoff. But
Indeed.
yeah, we'll be at Heavy Brewing the entire game.
Mhm.
I don't know if we're doing a live show or if we're just kind of hanging out.
I think we're doing like a pregame show is the idea, is my understanding.
Yeah, that was under I was under that impression as well.
Yeah. I think we'll be doing a pregame show, hanging out during the game, drinking some beers, having their pizza, which is also phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, their food, I mean, it's amazing. Their selection's amazing. Their space.
Yeah, the space
Huge.
is a big thing because I'm a person that like, hey, if I'm drinking and I'm like out on the town, I got to be able to play darts or I got to be able to like do some sort of activity. There's room in there for like cornhole and all sorts of fun stuff.
yeah.
So that's what we'll be doing.
So I also, last week, we drank the Don Key Especial, which is their Mexican lager, which was also fantastic. I did not realize that Don Key was named after a member of their staff named Don, and the logo is actually, it's an AI generation of her and Donkey from Shrek.
Nice.
So like, dude, I got to meet so much of their staff when I was there this week. They're all just so great.
Yeah, dude, it's a really like loose environment, and like their beers are fun. They have fun names. Like I feel like they're the perfect sponsor for us, man. I feel like we're very much of the same ilk.
They don't shy away from the
What?
the like the dirty jokes. They don't shy away from like having some funny names on the board, and that's something that I can appreciate, especially coming from this group. I just like it.
I think in my 45 minutes there yesterday, when I was picking up beers and picking out beers for us, I think I heard more F-bombs than we hear on an average NBNR
Oh,
episode.
boy.
It just made me feel at home. Like, it's very welcoming for
Very
people like me.
but very friendly F-bombs. Very friendly
Yes,
people.
absolutely. No, we had a whole lot of talk about Husker football. Whole lot of talk.
A lot of joyous F-bombs. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Those kind of F-bombs.
Yeah. They felt good.
Yeah. Okay. So again, go check out Heavy Brewing in Gretna, Nebraska. Well worth your time. Okay. Fellas, the thing about Connor over here is he was not here for our counseling session.
I was not.
Mike, he found a way from a Mexican cave. He chimed in, right? And a lot of our discussions, of course, was Dylan Raiola, TJ Lateef. TJ Lateef had an excellent game.
Yes.
On the road in October in a glorified home game at the Rose Bowl. Let's say how Nebraska fans and Nebraska in general killed the Rose Bowl. UCLA wants to move now because of us, because of how we took it over.
That's exactly what happened.
They're embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's what did it. That was the final straw. But I just wanted to get kind of what you're feeling out here with TJ, Dylan. You know, there's talk about, oh my gosh, these last two games.
Yeah.
If Lateef plays well, and that is a big if, what could be in store for the quarterback room? So I just want to get kind of your overall feel here.
Okay, so I've given this rant several times over the last several days.
Rant.
Yeah, it is.
Are
And
we
I'll-
in for something here? Okay.
So I want to shout out Ben Stevens, who's a phenomenal journalist. Brought up a stat that I love, that TJ Lateef is the first freshman in a Power 4 conference since 1995, when national stats were first compiled, to have a completion rate as high as 13 of 15, over 200 yards, 3 TDs, and 0 turnover-worthy plays. Phenomenal. Since 1995, no freshman has done that. That's not a thing.
What more could you ask for?
You couldn't.
Right.
Now, people are talking about, is this a discussion where we're looking at potentially a change in QB next year? I would tell you no, because I don't believe that a true quarterback battle can happen with Dylan Raiola still at the University of Nebraska. I do believe TJ Lateef will be a starting quarterback next year. He will just not be wearing an N on his helmet unless he's playing for Northwestern.
Oh, wow. A purple N.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the conversation all week, right? Amongst the Twittersphere.
Yeah.
And you know what? You kind of heard Matt Rhule kind of pleading, I think, in his press conference. And we'll get into more of his press conference here in this episode.
Sure.
But he's talking about, see, this is what happens when you stick around. You know, you got to wait your turn. You get developed and all these other things. The problem is that TJ is already getting stuff out on tape, and he has a great first performance against a Power 4 opponent. So it's like, yeah, you can kind of tell the guy's like, hey, just stick around. Please, just stick around.
So he did mention in that press conference, he's like, I paraphrasing, but he was like, I'd be naive to think that TJ is not going to be getting calls.
He flat out said his whole team's getting phone calls.
Yeah. And I get that. And that is, and Matt Rhule in that conference shouted out his coaches. Like, this is what you get at Nebraska. Like, we're going to develop you to a point that, like, if you aren't going to be starting, we understand. Like, you're going to get calls. But another thing I said was, the era of the 1-2 punch is over. It's over.
Sure.
Nobody wants to be the 2 in a 1-2 punch anymore. And it's going to come down to, again, this year, it would have been great to have Lateef stick with that red shirt and have him as a 1-2 punch next year. But I would also say that I think people are maybe reading too much into Lateef's performance this last week. Hear me out, because I don't think UCLA's defense is that good. You have two very stout defenses coming up in Penn State and in Iowa. Those are going to be really telltale signs of, was this a fluke, or is TJ Lateef the real deal? If he continues to prove himself, and if you win, frankly, I mean, we talked about last week where we thought maybe we were going to lose out the season. If he gets one of these two, God forbid, 2 of 2, and then a bowl game win, I don't see a route where TJ Lateef is wearing scarlet and cream next season.
Listen here, you win the rest of your games in this fiscal year. You win the rest of your games.
Tell 'em.
It is going to get real fucking uncomfortable in Lincoln, Nebraska.
It will.
It is going to get real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Kyle, do you genuinely believe, like, even if TJ Lateef wins out the regular season, do you think a legitimate QB battle can take place in Lincoln, Nebraska? Or is the institution just so set on we need Dylan Raiola that it will still lean in his favor?
I think, and this is something that I brought out prior to the season, when it came to John Butler, when it came to the coaching staff, any players in the NIL era, was be careful making promises to people because it will bite you in the ass. And so when it comes to the conversation of he balls out the rest of the year against two really good defenses, wins the bowl game, this is all what ifs, right?
Yeah, total what ifs.
Then you've made promises to a family that has a lot of pull around here. I guarantee it. You don't lock in a 5-star. You don't flip a 5-star with, hey, we're going to pay you some money. There's going to be a quarterback battle. That does not happen that way.
You don't bring Dylan Raiola into the fold and say, he'll compete.
Right.
You know?
So that's what I'm just thinking to myself here, that if he balls out the rest of the year, it's going to get real uncomfortable, because you are going to be sitting in your office thinking to myself, okay, so the team performed really, really well under this kid, but I've made promises to this family. What do you do?
Because not only if Lateef balls out, if he would be doing it against pretty solid teams.
Yeah.
Okay. And like, there is another part of me that's like, you know what? Let's say Lateef plays well against Penn State. Maybe not like gangbusters or perfect like he did against UCLA or against Iowa. Let's say he doesn't ball out, but he plays okay. It's like, how much do we hold that against him? It's kind of an interesting conversation, because we see the UCLA thing where he starts off 13 for 13 or whatever it was. We'll just say near perfect. And like, that's not going to happen again.
I highly doubt it.
There is going to be an interception there in there somewhere. There's probably going to be a fumble or a mishandled snap somewhere. And so we also don't need to swing to the complete 180 and say, you know what? Fuck, Lateef, you made a mistake. You're not the guy.
Yeah.
Now we hate you. Now we love Dylan again. And we talked about that during counseling, to just not get into the whole swing of love and hate and love and hate. And, it's allowing a true freshman quarterback that is going to be playing very good defenses. Penn State, yes, their record sucks. They might not be up for the game. They're going to get up for the game.
Everyone
Okay,
does.
let's just get that out of the way. They're going to get up for Nebraska, okay? You're going up against a very good defensive coordinator in Jim Knowles. You're going up against Phil Parker. I have long expressed my, I don't want to say love, because love is a strong word for Phil Parker. I've always felt like he's been dealt a shit hand in Iowa City.
Your admiration.
There we go.
There you go.
That if anyone deserves like some type of ring, it's Phil Parker, because of the defenses he has led and the offenses that have held Iowa back. Anyway, I just not getting into the dramatic swing of love Lateef, hate Lateef, love Dylan, hate Dylan.
Be chill, Nebraska. Be chill.
And allow a true freshman, because that's what Lateef is, after all. Allow him some grace, like we did for Dylan last year. We allowed some grace. The month of October last year was pretty hard to watch for Dylan, but we always couched it.
Yeah.
We always said, but, freshman, but. So you know what I mean?
I think what you're seeing right now, where the Teefers are out in full force, but it's very situational, right? Like the O-line has been not great. Dylan's mobility has been not great. His pocket presence leaves some to be desired. Sure. I'm not going to say he's bad, but there's some to be desired. TJ is in a position where, again, we look at Dylan's stats where we're looking at like 25 to 30 throws a game. We had Lateef throw 15. Latif's thing is, I need you to just check 1 or 2 reads, and if it's not there, run because he's fast as fuck, boy.
Well, sure. I mean,
he's fast as fuck. And like it was incredibly effective. And so I think TJ Latif's success in the UCLA game is a product of circumstances where he just fits what we need right now. And if Dylan had a better O-line, we would obviously be seeing better play from Dylan. But we don't have that right now. And so this play style is working. But again, like you said, we don't need to make major swings on how we feel about either QB. We see that TJ Latif is talented. We know that Dylan is talented. They're both great quarterbacks. This is a great room. It's just who's going to work right now. And unfortunately, we really only have the one option.
So in regards to the offensive line, we talked about this in counseling. I said, hey, every time that TJ Latif takes that football and acts like he's going to hand it to Emmett, that whole defense has to stop, and they have to look to see, is it going over here or is TJ taking off with it?
Exactly.
They all have to pause. And so my biggest thing with the offensive line and the amount of sacks that have been let up and pressures and all of that was like, hey, you guys built this offense around Dylan Raiola. And so if the rest of the unit is not prepared, that's on the coaching staff. And that is by design a flaw, because we all know, the coaching staff knows, that Dylan Raiola is not a mobile quarterback. So watching TJ on Saturday was interesting because that offensive line balled out and Emmett Johnson balled out against the 124th ranked rushing defense.
Still 3 touchdowns.
Let's acknowledge that before people
acknowledge that before everybody starts saying pump the brakes. I know. But it was interesting to watch how the defense responded to having a mobile quarterback, because they couldn't just pin their ears back and run man, which is something that Matt Rhule brought up.
Yeah.
They all kind of had to like take a pause every time that ball got snapped, because they're like, where's the ball? What are they doing? It wasn't just, hey, pin your ears back, go kill the quarterback that can't really run. It was like, hey, we can't, because if we do and we miss, he's gone. And we've seen that from other quarterbacks that we've played.
Yeah.
So I have a question, because you just said the phrase pump the brakes, and I need you to pump my brakes for me. I'm not saying front runner, but like, should the national media start really considering Emmett Johnson as at least a top 10 Heisman candidate?
Okay. I know you want to get there,
but am I too early?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I'll let you like lead that segment. But because I don't want to get off the Latif thing yet.
Okay. Yeah. Let's stick on that. We'll come back to the Emmett Johnson thing.
Well, because Connor, you said like Latif, he's fast as fuck. It's like we haven't really seen that. Like we've seen we saw the 14-yard keeper that he had the first play of the game.
Yeah.
And he looked good, right?
Yeah.
And so my point is like, yeah, he's probably very fast. He might be fast as fuck. We didn't really see that, which makes him even more appealing to me, because he had 30 yards rushing against UCLA. Because again, it's not just that he's fast as fuck. It's just the mere threat. And if you can keep a defense on their heels and make them pause for a second and make them think. Said yesterday, if you're a football player, the last thing you want to do is think. You just want to go hit somebody. Like, especially at this level, right? You just want to hit somebody. And so this doesn't even need to be like I'm pro Latif, I'm pro Dylan, I'm anti Latif, I'm anti Dylan. I think maybe this could be a discussion where, and this might give me the excuse to be pro Latif, I don't know. This could be like I am a pro running quarterback style versus I don't really want my quarterback to be immobile and not be able to escape pressure. So that's kind of where I'm at. Is I love the Latif style. It doesn't mean I love Latif. It just means I want a quarterback that has the running element. And if they can pass the ball 15 times a game at a 67% clip or whatever, I'm pretty satisfied with that, because you have and that also helps out your running backs and it helps out your offensive line. Like, I just feel like having a running quarterback has a trickle effect to everything else.
So I think I might be getting a little philosophical here. And I was going to start this with the NCAA, but I think it also translates to the NFL. is the era of a true pro style quarterback kind of dying? Like we are
in college football.
Well, I think in college and in the NFL, like you're seeing some of the top quarterbacks in the league are going to be guys that can sling the ball on you, but they're also incredibly mobile. And so a guy, and again, we saw Dylan break off like a 60-yarder against Ohio State last year. I'm not saying the kid can't run. Right. This is not me dogging Dylan Raiola. But like a true pro style quarterback just doesn't seem quite as useful anymore because you have to be that dual threat.
Sure. I mean, you look at, I don't want to make this a whole NFL thing, but like, I love Lamar. He's a multiple MVP winner. Josh Allen, even though I think he won his DEI MVP last year, didn't really deserve it, in my opinion.
Should have been Lamar.
I know. Like, again, it should have been Lamar, right? Running quarterback. Josh Allen definitely has the running element. A lot of it is, weak 1-yard tush pushes. He should just give it to his running back. Anyway.
Mahomes. I mean,
yeah,
but,
I guess
but you have running quarterbacks that win MVPs, and you have Patrick Mahomes, who's won at a high level, obviously.
And I mean, he can't evade. He runs.
He's fine. Yeah.
So, and BA brings up Matt Stafford, and Matt Stafford is 65 years old, and he was part of a generation that was filled with the Ben Roethlisbergers and the Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is still out there. I don't know. I guess it would be an interesting task to just go through the NFL and figure out just how many like run capable quarterbacks there are and how many like true pro style quarterbacks there are left.
Right. You go through the top 10 list, or the top half of the league, top 15 quarterbacks. How many of those would you consider to be dual threats?
I find Matt Stafford to be a fun one. Again, this is not an NFL podcast, but I saw a stat recently that Matt Stafford in his career just hit a 500 winning percentage. Just hit it.
Right. Yeah,
wow. I mean, to be fair.
Go on.
He was with the Lions for 40 years.
And he's also played, if I remember the stat correctly, he's played 229 games. He's 114 and 1. That's crazy. So, I mean, that's a very long career. And to be 500 through all of those games is very impressive. But I'm not talking Matt
Stafford is balling out as a pro style quarterback right now.
Yes.
Right now, yeah.
Well, and it helps when you've got a guy like Puka Nacua and a great O-line. Yeah. That helps.
So I guess before we get to Emmett, because my God, we have to talk about the best player on the team and probably the best running back in the country.
We can probably end on Emmett. There's a couple things I want to hit on before.
Okay,
go ahead.
Yeah, like you had kind of asked Kyle before. Let's say Latif wins out,
sure,
and he plays well.
Yeah,
just considering again, we're not expecting 13 of 15 from here on out. There has to be some give and take here.
You're going to come back down to earth.
Yes. Now, if he plays very well, I'm just going to tell you right now, that is who I would want my starter to be. Jared Hall, not Connor Cavalack, not Kyle Byers, not NBNR, just Jared Hall, who people make fun of for loving the option and for loving Army. Go Army, beat Navy, right?
No, go Navy, beat Army.
Shut up.
Go Army.
I guess what kind of offense does Navy run? Another guy who's in the Heisman conversation, their quarterback, just saying. That's the style that I like. And so if Latif plays well and the team plays well, that will just justify my desire to have a running QB.
I think there's an interesting conversation in regards to how Matt Rhule is recruiting his quarterbacks for the next 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Good point.
And that is you've got the Dylan Raiola, you've got the TJ Latif, you've got the Dayton Raiola, who runs a little bit better than Dylan.
Yes.
But has a strong arm and is more of a pro style out of the two. Between, if you were to look at Dayton,
he's
and
a better
TJ
hybrid.
Latif, yeah. And then you've got Trey Taylor, who is a dual threat quarterback. So you've got two pro style ish, one for sure with Dylan.
Yeah.
And then you've got TJ Latif and Trey Taylor. This right now, for the future of Nebraska football under head coach Matt Rhule, is really good because he can kind of see, hey, we did this for 2 years with Dylan. These were the results. And we did this with a dual threat quarterback for our offense for 4 games. And then whatever happens in the future. But he will have a sample size of like, hey, this is, I think, under Dana, I think this is really what works. And this is what is It was fine, but it wasn't what this was.
Kyle,
right?
I believe they call that diversifying your portfolio.
Yeah, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
How could you? You had the perfect opportunity.
Oh, what was I supposed to say?
Wu-Tang on Chappelle Show. Diversify your bonds.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Got her.
But so no, like again, like I think what any Nebraska fan should want is, let's say Latif does ball out, wins the next 3 games, 2 regular season, 1 bowl game. All you should ask for is a fair and legitimate quarterback battle going into next season. I think that's a fair ask.
I think that's fair.
I don't want any decisions made. I want them to fight it out.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because look, it's Kyle. You said we have made promises. We have.
Yes.
And when I say we, I'm talking about Rhule.
Yeah.
Promises have been made to the Raiola family,
Yes.
not the Raiola crime family. Okay, they're not like the Corleones and the Godfather, even though we act like they are like the most influential.
They're a little bit.
family.
They're a little bit.
Damn it. Don Dominic. He's going to come storming in your office and he's going to be mad at you. I'm going to make one over again reviews. Yeah, the other thing about Dana too, man. UCLA, their defense sucks. I'm saying that right now. But you're going to tell me that offense didn't look efficient as fuck? Offense looked good. It looked good. And Dana, he looked happy on the sidelines. And look, he's looked happy before.
Yeah.
We've seen Matt Rhule and Dana give high fives against Wisconsin last year. It was very fun. Just saying, it just looked like, especially on that last drive in the fourth quarter, they trusted Latif to go and make these throws over the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't really seen that a lot with Dylan.
That was a contested up the middle throw too.
He threw it like over some dude's hands, and credit to Dane Key. He took a hit, held onto the ball, then he rolls out and hits an Isaiah on that sideline catch. Look, man, I know UCLA sucks. I know. And it was like 70 degrees and there was like 80,000 Nebraska fans. I get it. But damn, you're going to tell me you didn't get a little giddy watching that final drive, Connor?
I mean, I think all Nebraska fans were like, what the hell is happening right now? Especially the first 3 possessions were touchdowns and they looked easy.
And this isn't to say like Dylan has never led any drives like this. Like there were the 3rd and 7s against Northwestern.
Yeah.
We cannot forget that. There was the clutch throw to Ja'Cory Barney versus Sparty. We're not forgetting any of those. But here's the thing. This is the latest thing that's happened.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking about it a little more and we're a little more excited because it's the latest thing that happened. That's all.
Yeah. I think the easy answer is if you're riding with Raiola or if you're a Tiefer, you're wrong. You're wrong. What you need to look at is how these guys played in their games, because how many times have we said each game is a vacuum?
Each game is a vacuum.
Each game is a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
And while Latif played, again, phenomenal. Like he had a phenomenal game. We need to see if this is sustainable. Like we've seen Dylan have great games. We've seen him have not so great games. That's going to happen regardless of who you've got back there. Just temper expectations to your opponent and just watch what happens. Because again, Penn State and Iowa coming up is, I think, I pray to God I'm wrong, probably going to bring Latif down to earth a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's going.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I want to, again, tempering expectations. I am expecting Latif to not play as well. Okay? I don't think that's a knock on Latif. You're playing a better team. It's going to be a little colder out.
You're going to be in a hostile environment.
You're in Beaver Stadium. And again, people, Penn State fans in Penn State, the team, they are going to show up. They are way more talented. Okay, just even on paper, they're more talented than UCLA. You should expect a little bit of a drop in play from Latif. You should expect a little bit of a drop in play against Phil Parker and Iowa. Okay? And that's fine. That doesn't mean you just start hating on Latif. Just saying.
Yeah. And to kind of like wrap this up, it says, Jordan Bryant says, whatever happens, next year's schedule demands the best of the best. And that is the only thing that I'll ask for is I want the person that gives you the best chance to win with what you've got to work with. That is what I want. And so I will reserve my opinions for after the season on what I think gives you the best chance to win. I'm waiting for it because we've still got we've got a big sample size missing in this. We got this itty bitty against a really bad defense.
Yeah.
And we've got the rest of the season. So that's what I'm waiting for. And all I want is the person that gives us the best chance to win. And I would hope that promises be damned.
Oh, thank you.
Promises be damned.
Mm-hmm.
I get what is best for Nebraska football.
You want to know what got me a little bit horned up?
Ooh.
Matt Rhule talking about we have the resources to go out and get the best players. He's like, some people might have more, but we've got enough. That gets me a little excited.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's a bit of a far cry from.
Did I miss something? What was in this contract extension that wasn't released to the public? Because he came out yesterday and was like, all of a sudden, like beating the drum of like, hey, I don't have any excuses now. Like, oh, we got the money. We have this. We have that. I'm like,
was the money not there?
Where'd it come from? Because just like a month ago, you're talking about how we need more money. And now you're out there a month later and you're like, yep, I ain't got no excuses.
Hey,
we've got what we need now. I'm like, what happened?
I would bet you, if I were a betting man, that there was a lot of concern around, like, if you lose Matt Rhule right now, because obviously the Penn State vacancy was a concern, that a lot of donors wanted to keep him here. This program does seem to be improving fairly well. And they said, if you can make this happen, we're willing to drop X amount, whatever it might be. And that was maybe presented to Matt Rhule and said, look, if we can keep you on, like, you're going to get this nice extension. And we're going to be able to get you more money and continue the track you're on.
Okay, so BA is in the chat. He says, Kyle, everybody was talking about the extension. It included a big NIL increase. I mean, that must have been something I missed.
It's speculation. It's speculation.
Yeah, I don't know that's confirmed.
I like to think that, I mean, I watch all the press conferences. I like to think that I'm pretty well informed just through work and, whatever. I don't ever remember hearing or thinking to myself like, oh, hell yeah. Like we got a bunch more NIL money. Like who's giving it up? Who's giving us the money?
You can't guarantee an NIL increase. I mean, that's coming from donors.
Okay. The school cannot pay any more than $20 million. That is the rev share that all the teams.
Yeah, you can't guarantee that.
Get that, right?
I'm sure it came from donors like, you get him on an extension, we're going to drop that money.
Well, let's go back to when it was announced, right? A lot of people were under the impression that Matt Rhule got paid more, but there were incentives added, right? If you make the playoff, you make $1 million more or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But didn't hear anything about NIL being contributed to whatever. Like, I don't know. I never heard that. That's all speculation.
I mean, we've got a lot of friends of the show, Mitch Sherman, those guys. Like, sure. I follow all their stuff and I read all their stuff and I pay attention to kind of what's going on. I don't remember ever hearing that, like, hey, with the extension comes this big NIL bonus, like people are paying more money and whatever. Like, I guess I missed something.
Let me tell you the story. Okay. And this is probably totally false, right? So it's like Sunday and on my multi-view, I got CNN up. Oh my God. I know I'm a freaking whatever.
Lib.
I know I'm a snowflake. I got CNN up. I got some NFL games up, whatever. You guys, on the bottom ticker, I'm not kidding you. It said something about how Warren Buffett was taking a bit of a back seat at Berkshire, right? His Thanksgiving statement. He's take a bit of a back seat and he was going to focus more on, and I quote, philanthropic practices.
Oh.
And I read that and I go, what if that's what that means? And then you have Matt Rhule the next day saying, we have the money? Wait a second. Do we have a Mark Cuban at Indiana type thing going on? Probably not. but
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
I will shut this down immediately. Everybody knows Warren
Come
Buffett
on.
is a Creighton fan. He is not a Husker. He's not a.
Is that even true though? Because he's been on the sidelines at Nebraska games. He's got Nebraska gear on. He was even photographed taking a picture with a Husker football jersey on. He looked ridiculous in it.
Yeah.
He looked like an idiot, right? Because a football jersey on like an 80-year-old guy looks ridiculous. Are we sure he's a Creighton fan?
Have you ever seen a rich person take a photo op that they didn't really condone? I've seen a lot of those. I don't believe Warren Buffett's a guy. I'm sorry. I hate to be the negative guy here.
There's a question that says, didn't UNL just announce $20 million in budget cuts? Yes, but the athletic department is different than the athletic department.
Yeah, our athletic department.
Our
funds
athletic
itself.
department is different than the university.
Correct.
Yes.
So this is actually one thing that I feel like we have to say a lot is that Nebraska is one of few athletic departments that does fund itself, takes no money from the university. Your tuition is not paying for anything in the athletic department. It's also the only athletic department that does not take any government subsidies and is debt free.
Yes.
Like the University of Nebraska athletic department is run incredibly well. Your tax money, your whatever is not touching it.
Here's the thing. We talk about how, the university is different from the athletic department, right?
Yes.
Totally. What if it's not?
What if it's not? We're
like,
really good at embezzling.
Like, why do we have to pretend like there are rules anymore? What if there were $20 million in cuts and they went to NIL? Like, what if? Yes, I know. Technically, it's against the law. There's no rules, right?
Sure.
What's going to happen? I don't know. I'm just under the impression that like there's no rules, and you see like Texas Tech, they're just getting all these dudes.
Okay.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah. So to your point, okay, I got to break a couple things down here. BA, he says, I'm reading a tweet from Pete Nakos right now about from 10:30 that talked about Rhule being adamant about more money, and that played a part in the extension. I would go so far as to say that boosters, like you mentioned, Connor, saw that, hey, Penn State needs a head coach, and Matt Rhule was the Vegas odds, the best bet to take that job. The boosters see progress, which I do too.
Yeah.
And Matt Rhule publicly, and this was the masterclass that you saw out of Matt Rhule. He talks all the time. Like, the only reason I say a lot of these things is because I'm talking to the student athletes, talking to the players. But he went out there and said, hey, look, like, we are behind in the NIL front. We are behind. We need more money. You look across the country, these teams are spending hundreds of millions of dollars in just paying for their athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why you see these teams consistently in the top 25. That is why.
Sure.
And then every once in a while you get those little oddballs or whatever.
James Madison.
Yeah. So he gets out there and publicly says that stuff. He said the same stuff when talking about Dylan Raiola. He said it cost $3 to $4 million or whatever that figure was when he comes out and says that's how much it costs to get a quarterback. Who do you think he's talking to? He's talking to the boosters. And so now the boosters are struggling with, oh shit, we're about to lose our head coach, and he's publicly saying that we're not giving enough money. What do we need to do to keep you here? One, the athletic department has to offer you an extension worth your time, which would be the $1 million for the playoff appearance, all that good stuff. But then also the university has to figure out a way, how do we get more money for your athletes? And so, yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what happened. I'm sure that's exactly the conversations that were happening behind closed doors was like, hey, we're about to lose the head coach, one, and two, he's out here saying we don't have enough money. So how do we keep the head coach? We probably tell him you're going to get more money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And it's, I know there was a few, you had the Minnesota loss in there, and that kind of soured the taste of a lot of people's mouths. And, I even said myself, why would you give any more money to a team that gets, absolutely bombarded against Minnesota, against a team that you're probably better than, a team that you for sure invest in more money in football. So why would I give more money to you if you're going to Minnesota and getting destroyed by a team that doesn't invest as much. But Kyle, they're 7-3. They are like literally statistically making progress.
Yeah.
So yes, if you're a booster, maybe you're a little bit scarred by what you've seen in the past 15 years. And you're like, you know what? If Matt Rhule gives a shit, he works hard. He's for the most part very positive about what's happening. He wants to promote what's going on. Let's bet on him and let's give more money.
Matt Rhule is at the mercy of what's happened the 7 years before him.
Yeah.
Because that same booster group is talking about, well, we gave a bunch of money to the athletic department when former head coach Scott was here, and we gave a bunch of money when Mike Riley was here. And how did all that turn out?
And not only that, Kyle, the boosters have looked at Matt Rhule and said, "You've blocked, no rock."
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's a mill.
People are talking about that.
Wise choice.
We've used the terms tonight. We've used invest. We've used diversify your portfolio. And these donors that have all this money are not dumb. But they understand that when you're looking at the stock market, you buy low, you sell high. Right now, Nebraska is coming off of that low, but it's still a really good investment. If you want to get wins, put your money in now. Put your money in now. That's how you get it.
The only difference in NIL is you just buy.
Yeah, it's just buying.
Don't sell.
Yeah. No. Yeah, the selling is you're selling out for a natty.
Yeah.
Or at least a goddamn playoff appearance.
Right.
And it's interesting too because I don't want to get too deep into the portal because we're at 45-ish minutes and we still have not talked about our Heisman, Maxwell, Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week.
Our beloved Emmett.
Beloved Emmett. We can get into portal needs for next year. How you're going to have to invest in some O linemen, probably some stalwart D linemen, probably a quarterback or two. We'll see. So yeah, you're going to need, and just like any other team that's out there, Nebraska is not alone in this. Every team is going to have their holes that they need to fill, and they're going to need some cash or whatever you use to fill those holes.
Do you invest in proven D linemen that you might get for 1-2 years on a great deal? Or do you just tell this D line that we have right now, like, hey, I'm going to need you to put on 30 pounds in the offseason. We're going to need to transform your goddamn body.
I'm glad you said that because I'm hearing discussions about, Dylan needs to get in shape. He needs to get more mobile. It's not happening. It's not because Dylan's not a hard worker. That's his body type. Some people just have a body type. He's not going to just start running. And look, what's his 40 time right now? I got to imagine it's probably in the 5s.
It's probably low 5s.
I think the best we can probably do is 4.98. And again, it's not an insult, or that's not saying he doesn't work hard in the offseason. I think he does. But change your body, get faster, get more agility. Easier said than done.
See, you say that, but we saw this happen last year. Granted, freak athlete.
Okay.
Nash Hutmacher. We saw his body change.
Wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wore the leotard at one point.
Yeah, I did. It's not what we called it. We called it a singlet.
Hey, and not just for wrestling either. He was just wearing it.
We called it a singlet.
Yeah, we call it a singlet.
We asked him, why are you wearing that? You're not. What are you doing?
We saw Nash's body change pretty dramatically over the course of 6 to 8 months.
This is true. This is true.
So I don't think it's crazy to say we can maintain, especially if you're putting on weight. Sure, you're probably going to lose a little bit of that efficiency in your movement and everything like that. We can expect that. But one thing that we've harped on all season is that this D line is just too small.
Indeed.
They need to get bigger.
They're going to get bigger.
So you can go out and, try and poach and grab whatever you can out of the portal, or you can try and just get these guys bigger. I don't know which is the right option. That's why I don't get paid millions of dollars to make those decisions.
Sure.
But to say that it's not possible, I think is weird. I think that's
you think it's weird.
Yeah, because again, we saw it last year. Like we saw it in front of our eyes.
I mean, again, like Nash got more athletic, right? But he didn't get bigger. Like he didn't get like we need hole pluggers.
Well,
we need big boys that won't be moved. And can't you just see the discussion already? Hey, Keona Davis, let's add more weight. Oh God, he's too slow. Like, can't you just see that happening already?
You can also talk about, like, again, we've had a lot of O linemen on the show. And they talk about, like, when you put on weight like that, it puts a lot of pressure on your knees, and that becomes really, really concerning. If you, again, I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist, I'm no head coach. But I think there's a way where you can make this D-line bigger with the guys you've currently got. I don't think their fundamentals and their skill set is bad. I think they're just too small.
Let's end this discussion because we want to get to Emmett.
We do.
They are going to get a player or two from the portal on the D-line.
I'm just telling you that. Certainly.
I'm telling you that because I think they recognize that they need that.
No.
So you can talk about wanting to.
I agree with you, but you can also keep these guys and just make them bigger.
Sure.
And like you create depth by doing that. And you're going to play behind a guy that, frankly, wherever they come from, probably has better experience than you, is probably going to help you develop as a player. Like, I think both things can happen and both can be beneficial.
Okay.
Real quick. I think it's worth just mentioning. I'm just looking at the roster here for defensive linemen. 290, 265, 275, 260. There is a 320 in here, Dylan Parrott, but I don't think he's seen the field yet.
I don't think he had. I mean, he played a lot last year, I feel like, and hasn't seen the field much.
Are we just too short?
Cade is 265.
Pet job.
I mean, it, like right out of the gate, the first game, we looked at what came out on the field, and we're like, hey, oh shit.
I mean, you said that. You were like, whoa, small.
It was like middle of the first quarter when I got your first text.
Not even. It was the first drive. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. You're gonna get some big boys, some hole fillers. Okay, Connor, since I kind of derailed you because you were talking about Emmett,
yes,
I will allow you, sir, to lead this transition to our best player and the Big Ten's best running back, Emmett Johnson.
I have one statement to make. He leads the Big Ten in all-purpose yards. This last game, granted, against UCLA, we've already made the defensive disclaimer. Mm-hmm. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up, chat. Shut up, Audi. We love Ben Audi.
He deserves to be, Emmett Johnson deserves to be at least in a Heisman talk. I'm not asking for him to be a front runner. There are a lot of fantastic players out there this season. And I understand that the Heisman is a quarterback award. We all know that. It's like the MVP in the NFL. It's a quarterback award. At least say his name.
It's a quarterback award, and it should have, for 1 year, been a defensive lineman award.
Yep. Agreed.
God damn it. God, if you think about it, we've been screwed out of like 2 Heismans. We've been screwed out of Tommy and Ndamukong. We should have 5 Heismans to solidify our blue blood status. But Kyle, I will throw it to you because I feel like you had something to say.
Yeah, I think on Sunday I said that I wasn't like ready to talk about Emmett in the Heisman race. But what I will say is, I guess thinking about it, if you're the best running back, now listen, you look at Jordan Love. I mean, come on. If
you talk about Notre Dame,
yes,
Jeremiah Love.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Jordan Love did not have a great game yesterday.
We're not talking about the Packer QB.
Correct. So Jeremiah Love, Emmett Johnson, you're looking at the best like running backs in the country, right? You at least got to get an invite. At least put his name up there.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here? You at least got to give him an invite.
So you're talking about a running back in the Big Ten. The Big Ten is known for what? Running the goddamn ball, hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. And this kid can do it all. He runs angry. He catches the ball and makes people miss. And he's, again, leading the Big Ten in all-purpose yards. I'm not asking for you to put him, like send him to New York and put him in that Final Four. I'm saying say his goddamn name because this kid fucking deserves it.
Walter White.
Yeah, well,
Now-
and Mike had brought up the point, like, hey, it is a down year for running backs, and I didn't quite understand like what he was talking about. If you just look at like what Amir Abdullah was going up against, where Melvin Gordon has got like 2,300 all-purpose yards,
Yeah.
and then you look at Amir Abdullah, and you're like, holy shit, he's still got a long way to go. And even then, looking at it now, Emmett Johnson has got 1,300 yards behind what those guys were producing. So it is kind of a weird year for running backs. I don't know what is kind of like changed. I don't know if that's a conversation between like pro style and dual threat, like whatever. But it is interesting.
You bring up Jeremiah Love, and this is not saying that Jeremiah Love is a bad running back. Like he's obviously like a top 3 running back.
Yeah.
But a lot of that kind of comes back to like preseason rankings and how the preseason rankings affects how voters will keep certain teams in the top 25, even though they've lost 3 games. It's only because their preseason ranking was really high or whatever. It's kind of the same with Jeremiah Love. Like, we all know who that is. He was a known commodity coming into the year, and Emmett was like somewhat known, but even now people are like, Emmett Johnson, who's that guy?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's one part of me that is kind of glad he had that game against UCLA because it's on, that part of the country, West Coast. You're going to have like certain Heisman voters there.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another part of me that's like, it sucks that he had his best game at, 8 p.m. Central Time. And so a lot of people also didn't see it. But yeah, I think it just goes back to like the preseason, like biases that people have.
So I think I maybe undersold like Emmett Johnson's, what he's done so far this season. He's got 1,131 yards. He is second, not in the Big Ten, in the NCAA, only behind Cam Cook, a household name, from Jacksonville State.
And he's not going to New York City.
No, and he's only 50 yards behind him. He's got 1,131 yards.
And, he's probably playing against, who does Jacksonville State? What is their conference affiliation?
Who fucking knows?
What's their, are they even in FBS?
Yeah. Do you know where Jeremiah Love is?
I do. He's an independent.
No. Do you know where he's at in the rankings?
Probably like for all purpose.
No, this is rushing.
I would say 5th or 6th.
He is in 5th.
Okay.
And he has 150 yards behind Emmett Johnson.
Sure.
And yet, when you look at these Heisman talks and their top 10s, Jeremiah Love is above that. And I know there's going to be some people in the comments talking about strength of schedule, about strength of victory.
And Notre Dame is going to be in the playoff conversation, and they made the playoff last year and in the title game. Yeah.
But again, I find Heisman conversations, much like I find MVP conversations in the NFL, to be, it's not about the result, like how your team plays out. It's about your performance. And Emmett Johnson absolutely deserves to be in that discussion. I started with top 10. I'm saying if he's not in your top 6, you're a psycho.
Yeah. So BA brings up a very good point. And this is not something that I considered. And that is the running clock. So you look at like what happened with Amir Abdullah and like Melvin Gordon and those guys.
Right.
They didn't have a running clock. So the snap count was way higher every single game. So that's a very good point. I'd never even considered. And so we appreciate that.
He's doing more with less.
Yeah.
Well, doing approximately the equivalent with less.
Yeah. Like if you had 90 snaps in a game, I would imagine his yardage would go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would figure.
Yeah.
And the thing about Emmett too is he passes 2 of your tests. He passes the stat test because he is like
he's top 2 in like 7 categories.
The Nebraska Twitter account just released that he's like number 1 in this, number 2 in this, number 1, number 2. the right statistical test he passes.
Yes.
And Connor, you had just talked about the way that he runs. Eye test. I'm sorry. Dude passes it with flying colors. I don't know, man. So the O-line, I know that we have like largely kind of, for the most part, kind of shit on them a little bit. And then you get into the nuance of, does Dylan hold on to the ball too long and whatever. The O-line for the past few games has played better.
Yes.
Okay. But I also think that for like half of the season, they did not play very well. And a lot of it was Emmett doing things, juking guys in the backfield, not having any negative plays. He could have had many negative plays this year.
Oh, yeah.
But he juked guys out. He ran through people. He's falling forward virtually every time he touches the ball. So he passes the stat test and the eye test. Just want to say that.
The eye test for me is always like, do you just make your peers look silly? I remember like in elementary school, there's a guy, this freak athlete, through all the way through high school and into college. Dude used to just make us look stupid every single day at recess. We'd go out, throw the football around, whatever. The principal's got the whistle and all this other stuff, right? Just make us look stupid at recess. Emmett Johnson makes defenses look stupid when they try to tackle him. It's the kind of thing where like he jukes somebody out and that player, the defender, takes out another defender because they're both diving through the air, just trying to make some sort of contact. Just makes them look dumb. And so that is like for the eye test for me, I'm looking to see, do you just make these dudes look stupid out here? Because he does.
Yeah. So this is something that I've talked about a lot recently, and I think it's going to make some Husker fans sad. I believe that this coming April, Emmett Johnson will go no less than a high third-round pick. He is going to go to the NFL. He is too good to stay here at Nebraska. And that's a compliment. Like that's not a bad thing.
That was going to be my question to kind of like end the show was, do we see Emmett next year?
Almost certainly not. Almost certainly not. Not in my opinion. I think he is simply too good to stay in the NCAA. He has had a phenomenal season, presumably going to continue that. And after a season like this, barring no injury, and I pray that he has no injury, you should strike while the iron's hot. Go get drafted, get a high. I think he could go. This sucks. I don't know what the draft order is going to look like, and I don't know who's going to need running backs.
Right.
I think he could go in the second round.
Well, you see Mel Kiper, he's like number 8 on his running back list.
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth.
I think he could go in the second round. Like I would not blame him. In fact, I would congratulate him for going in the second round. I don't see him going any less than third.
Well, dude, even if you're projected to go 4th round, if you're a running back, you take that all day. Like
getting drafted on itself, like in and of itself.
Then you think of the running back position. I'm sure we've harped on how many hits you're taking all the time. And like, there's a short shelf life for running backs.
Unless you're Amir Abdullah.
He's an anomaly, by the way.
Yeah. Plays for the greatest team in the NFL, by the way.
Well, okay, let me ask you, because you're the Colts guy.
Yeah. Is
he getting a lot of carries as a running back, or is he like just doing a lot of kick return stuff?
He actually does get a decent amount of carries.
Okay.
It's typically when, you see Taylor get 4, 5, 6 in a row and you get Abdullah in there, but Abdullah is still
he just had a big kick return
right
this last weekend.
Actually probably won the game for the Colts against the Falcons. It was like a 45-yard return. Leading up to that last touchdown for Taylor. But like you see Abdullah still operating at a high level. But again, that's like such an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like you don't see, I think he's been in the league for like 12 or 13 years.
Well, dude, you think of
like, you don't see that for a running back unless you're like Frank Gore.
Well, no. And Frank Gore, he'll make the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
He talk about stat padding or whatever. He got a lot of carries, and maybe his yards per carry average wasn't the highest, but he got a lot of carries over a long career. You talk about Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Again, an anomaly,
A freak.
a
Yes.
freak. Amir Abdullah, we'll call him a freak, sure.
Yeah,
Of a different style.
Yeah.
Because he's not the same style of back as D. Henry is.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're, listen, man, and goddamn, that Scadaboo injury, Jesus Christ. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
But doesn't it just hammer home like that could happen at any time? Like it's such a, and even Dylan's injury, right? His leg gets caught. Football is such a
fickle.
It's such a random thing.
yes. Like even if you don't get hit hard or whatever, like how do you land? Like it could derail your entire career.
Yeah.
So if you're a running back and you can get a couple mil, get an NFL contract, I mean, you're gonna take that.
Yeah. And you know what? To end the show, excuse me. Matt Rhule in his press conference this week did say, hey, he comes back next year and he's the front runner for the Heisman candidacy, the preseason this, the preseason that. So we talked about him talking to the boosters and him talking to the athletes. He was also talking to Emmett Johnson. He very well could play in the NFL, he said. But if he came back, he very well could be the front runner next year in all the awards. So,
and if he came back, he would get paid handsomely.
Absolutely.
But of course, if you're Emmett, you know, you got to be a little selfish here.
100%.
And on this podcast, you will be forgiven immensely. I mean, we're going to sit here and go get your bag. Like, yes, you will get paid if you come back to Nebraska, but
I always,
NFL's a different story, man. You can get a pension. You can get a pension for like your whole life if you last long enough. Amir Abdullah is going to get a nice little pension.
he's going to get a bag.
Woo, baby.
But I always talk about one player, and this is why, like, I'm pro player. While I love Nebraska football, I'm pro player. Fuck the team. Like, you need to take care of yourself. As a player, you need to take care of yourself.
No, listen. I want him to. I mean,
I always refer
what's best for Nebraska?
Do you guys remember
Having Emmett in the backfield and not?
But do you guys remember
what's best for us?
Yeah. Do you guys remember Jake Butt?
Indeed.
Yeah. Jake Butt opts to play into a bowl game, has incredibly high draft stock.
Yeah.
Very smart man, takes out an insurance policy on him if he gets injured in that game, and then just blows his leg into a million pieces. Gets paid out for that, but destroys his draft stock and ultimately his career. I would love to see Emmett Johnson playing for Nebraska next year. I would encourage him because, like, he's done so much for my mental health. Go play in the NFL, man. Go play in the NFL. Get the money.
Emmett, go to the NFL, but like stay here though.
Yeah, can you do both?
Yeah.
Can you just split time in between?
Play on Saturdays and Sundays.
We talk about get a hole plugger on the D line, get a few offensive guards, maybe a quarterback. Pay for Latif to stay. Not Dylan to stay, Latif to stay, and then pay for a running back to come in, because if Emmett leaves, you will need a running back.
You have to.
Don't tell me about
that's number one, like on your list, I think, is you have to go get a number. Like if Emmett goes to the NFL, which I think he should, that should be your number one priority. Especially if you're considering like Dylan's going to be the number one next season, you have to have a running back that can do big things.
You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say my molars are floating from this delicious beverage
me too.
that
I'm feeling
Heavy
good
Brewing has provided us. Yeah, we're feeling all right over here.
I've had like,
even when Mike's not here, we've still got someone deflating.
you know what? Fuck Mike. He's not even in the comments. Fuck that guy.
He might be.
Mexico Mike.
Yeah.
Enjoying the beach.
Oh, he's by the pool with all the pool boys giving him little beers. And you know what? But here's the thing. We're feeling better than he is right now.
Yeah.
Because he's got two little, and probably his wife too. Mike, go get your man. And then he's hearing in the background.
If I know Mike, he's got several tequilas in his system already.
All right, is this where we're at?
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Emmett, stay, please, but go. but go. But stay.
Please stay, but you should go.
But you should definitely go. But you should definitely stay. And Latif, you should stay too. NBNRpodcast.com. We are on Spotify, YouTube. Just Google us. Do the Signetti thing. Just Google us. We'll be there. A follow, 5-star review would be much appreciated. It's a bye week, so no score predictions. We just end right now. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Connor Cadillac.
Kyle Byers.
As always, beat the bye week. No injuries. Bye weeks are good. Maybe. We don't know.
Recruiting.
Yeah, the staff's on the road. Warren Buffett's money might come into play here because he's definitely given money. And GBR.